Famed architect and designer Frank Lloyd Wright still commands attention today. The Wisconsin native, known for blending buildings with nature, died in the 50s, but his influence and following lives on. So when a home with a connection to Wright hit the market in Minneapolis for $399,000, we had to see it for ourselves, and we'll tell you, we weren't disappointed. Just beside the Mississippi River on a winding Minneapolis street sits 4736 Coffee Lane, a hidden house nestled in nature with a story to tell.
You almost miss it. It doesn't feel like you're on the grid.
What you can't see through the foliage is revealed in the blueprints, a butterfly-shaped home designed by a man who was trained by one of the greats.
It was designed by this architect, Herb Fritz Jr. He was a protege, some people maybe even say disciple of Frank Lloyd Wright. His dad was one of Wright's original draftsmen. He had this reputation as somebody who could do the Frank Lloyd Wright thing, but at more of a affordable price point, basically.
That drew the attention of a Minneapolis kindergarten teacher and his wife who loved gardening. The angular home went up in 1960.
This is something that turned up in the family's archives. You can see the house having just been built or possibly even still in the process, really at the dawn of this whole neighborhood development.
Yeah, February 1961.
Yep.
Its Usonian mid-century style, with a focus on the nature that surrounds it, still turns heads today.
This has been essentially untouched. You almost can't put a value on it.
No right angles, all the rooms kind of spill into each other.
The two-bedroom house complete with a carport.
It really is more of an ode to California style.
And angular paneled rooms.
What you're going to notice is everything is angled, and that's what gives us the butterfly's wings.
Sitting elegantly on the lot that grew in and flourished around it.
It looks the same, except that the cars are 20 years newer, and it's a lot more lush.
This is a lot of native grasses that were purposely planted here.
The time-worn treasure, now for sale for the first time ever, is drawing attention once more.
People were so curious. We estimate probably upwards of 700 people came through an open house.
Captivating the curious, the design-loving. Really, anyone willing to be the next caretakers of this time capsule.
To have this name associated with this house and own a piece of what is really architecture history is special.
Hoping that someone comes in and honors what's unique and interesting about it and uses a light touch in making changes to it and do it in a way that continues to contribute to making this little pocket really an interesting place to live or just pass through.
A hidden gem sitting, waiting for its next chapter to unfold. Now, there was a lot of interest in this house. As you heard, hundreds at the open house, which is not typical. They had 60 showings, so a lot of serious interest, and then 10 offers.
Wow.
So she is sold, we should say.
So tell us a little more about this neighborhood. Where is it?
Yes, so this is near the Longfellow neighborhood, but it's actually technically the Luella Anderson and neighborhood, and kind of interesting. Trevor, who you saw in the hat there from the Longfellow whatever, researched this. He let us know this was originally part of like an orphanage, and then it was willed to the former mayor, who willed it to the U of M. And so this is one of the last tracts of Minneapolis that was ever developed for that reason.
And you had a great conversation with the owner of the home about its legacy.
Yes. So we mentioned the gardening interest, right? And that's a big feature of the home. So the owner, who lived in this house, you know, with his wife for a long time, was known as Mr. Kindergarten because he was a longtime kindergarten teacher, one of the only male teachers, certainly the only male kindergarten teacher in the district. But they were known for their garden, planting wildflowers, native grasses before that was cool. And he had the summers off, so a lot of time to dedicate to the garden. We're told that the Minneapolis Garden Club, which was a big thing at the time, actually had tours to this property. So it was sort of known in the community for that too.
It's in great shape. I mean, to say that that was lightly touched is really incredible. So, like, what is next for this thing?
Right? Because it's like someone has to love it as much as the original people who commissioned it. And so we hear that it is going to someone with an architectural background. Not surprising, right? That's who would buy this house. They close this week. They plan to restore, not renovate. That's an important distinction. So they want to restore it to its former glory. We hope to go back and see it when it's, you know, shining the way it was in the 60s.
I'm sure that was a big factor in all those offers that come in, because you hear about people writing a letter to the person selling the home, and I'm sure that was a big selling point.
Yeah, and you think about the shape, a butterfly shape, there's some quirks. Like, you got to get creative with furnishing that house, so we're excited to see what they do with it.
Very cool.